but then try to utilize your life in such a way that you live akarmically. And I think that's the real key is, how do I live my life akarmically? That's one of the real questions.
And how?
Okay. Well, everybody is actually a servant, right? I mean, we all hear the expression at Christmas time, it's better to give than to receive, and people feel like that, when they're asked to help. Most people go, oh, sure, I'll help you, But if you order somebody around, it's like if you have a flat tire on the road and you pull out a gun and you get somebody to stop and fix my tire, it's like they're going to be like really freaked out, right? But if you wave down somebody and somebody stops and you say, I really need help with my tire, could you help out? And the guy comes, oh yeah, sure, no problem, I'll help you out, and so people like to help. Service is ingrained right, not just in our mind and in our intelligence, but right at the spiritual level. Service is our eternal nature. So if we actually perform service, then to the Supreme, like if we perform service in the material world, we're still going to get back that karma. But if we perform service for the Supreme Spirit, the overarching, everything, and you perform service for them, then you don't get any karma. And when you're not accumulating karma, then you're actually starting to become free from the cycle of birth and death. And you can actually get to the point of being completely without karma, and then you can attain to the spiritual realm. And that's actually the goal of life.
And how can I do this? Because, for example, I have usually a job and I have family, and
right.
I not really understand how exactly I can do this.
Yeah.
For example, I don't know, maybe so.
Yeah. Well, I think that everybody has, different religions have different ways and different avatars and incarnations of God have come to show us, either teach us or to show us how to properly serve God. And, I think the example that so many people are familiar with is the example of Jesus. Jesus was a servant of God, and he came and he did everything for God, even when he was very young. And he went, he got lost by his parents, I think when he was 12 or 13 years old, or maybe even younger. And the parents, Mary and Joseph, eventually found him in the temple, and he was talking to all these philosophers, but he was talking about God, and he was talking about service to God and everything, and they were all completely enthralled in what he was saying, because he was talking about service to God. So service to God is really the way. Now, you say, how do you put that into your practical life? Well, even Jesus said, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. So the name of God and God are non-different, so, and God has many names according to different cultures and different religions, Jehovah, Allah, Krishna, there's many different names for God, for the Supreme, or even if somebody just thinks God is the Supreme and I just want to serve him. So if you, when you wake up in the morning, if you're preparing your breakfast and you think, okay, it's my breakfast, but really, where did all the ingredients come from? The ingredients came from God, right? I mean, I may have bought them at the store, but where did they grow and how did they get to the store? And, how's all this? It's all put together by God. And so if we understand that, okay, if I now am cooking my breakfast with these ingredients and I offer it back to God, then God will be happy. And with my sacrifice, basically. And really, you just have to say a little prayer to offer it to God. God, thank you very much for, giving me what you've given, and I'm now offering it back to you. And when we do that, then you can begin to live in that state of being free from karma, because all that, getting of all those ingredients, like even here in Canada, most of our food comes from California and it comes in trucks and everything, which are destroying the environment with their fumes. And we drive in cars and so many things. But if we utilize the fruits of those things to make an offering to God, then it wipes out a lot of that karma. So it's definitely what's called an auspicious activity. Auspicious means it's good for everybody. It's not just good for one person here or one person there. It's good for everybody. And the whole universe is actually uplifted by somebody making an offering to God, and it relieves a lot of the karma from a lot of different things. So it becomes a very good way to live, very simple and easy way to live, but just by making that conscious effort to serve, to serve God. And to serve your neighbors, also. That's part of service to God. It's all encompassed. But making a conscious effort to serve God. Jesus said, know, love, and serve God with your whole heart, mind, and soul, and love your neighbor as yourself. Now, in a lot of Christian understanding, they've kind of taken up the love your neighbor as yourself part, which is good. But they've kind of forgotten about how to love God.